Holler back girl, I ain't no holler back girl. You trying to get around this track, ain't just gonna happen like that, cause I ain't no holler back girl. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another movie review. Today we're taking a look at Holler, which is a movie which is quite old, but I decided to watch it because I watched Dune Prophecy, and one of the actors in that I quite liked because I liked her in End of the Fucking World, which I've also talked about on the channel quite a bit. So if you want to see that, there is videos on the channel about me talking about that movie. But this time I'm taking a look at another one of her movies called Holler. And I watched this the other night, and I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit of a doozy, and I have definitely seen better movies, and she's definitely done some better stuff than this. If you want to find out why I'm saying that, definitely stick around to the end of the video, and without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, Holler is a 2020 drama, coming-of-age story. I wouldn't really call it coming-of-age story, I'm going to be honest, but sure, you do you, Google. And it is 1 hour and 30 minutes. It has a 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb and a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, that's higher than expected, and a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Hoping to pay her college, a deprived but determined young woman lands a dangerous job working in a scrap metal yard during a brutal winter. With her goal in sight, she soon finds herself torn between a promising future and a family she would leave behind. Right, so the story starts off with her visiting her mum in prison because she was an alcoholic, a raging alcoholic, I think, and she's either going to go to jail or she goes to rehab. Either one works. And I'm not sure if it was drugs or alcohol, but she was abusing some form of substance, and that's what ended up her getting there and having her two options set out in front of her. Her daughter is the main character, and she is still going to school, and she's doing very well in school. She's doing absolutely amazing in school, and she's helping her friend, who's pregnant, also do very well in school. And she continues to try and steal books and sort of supplies from the library. The school isn't a fan of that and sends her to jail. And her brother gives them permission to lock her in a cell for like a good few hours to make sure that she learns her lesson. They go see the mum again, and obviously they find out that she's applied for college. Well, she didn't, but he applied to college for her, and that she got in. So, you know, she's pissed at him and is like, we don't have enough money, we haven't had enough money for water or heating for the past couple of like months because the job isn't good enough. So they go and get themselves a pretty big job stealing copper wire from abandoned houses, and they are doing it, someone gets shot and dies, so then these two want to get out of it, and the dude's like, hell no, you're in it to win it now, you're a ride or die. She gets a little bit lovey-dovey with the main dude running the situation, and then he gets with another girl or starts chatting to another girl and puts her off completely. She gets a little bit upset and then decides to leave the company for good. She runs away and sort of takes some money with her. Her brother then gets beat the shit out of for her issues and her wrongdoings, and then she then comes to see him in hospital, and she then goes to see the mom, and then she destroys the sort of bad man's computer, and then drives off to college, and that's the end of the movie. I'm gonna be honest, this movie tries really hard to get you to care for some of these characters, and it is so hard to when they feel very monotone, very one-note and basic. Like, these characters don't get explored all too much. They're just kind of saying, it's like a series of events, that's it. It's just one thing after another. No one gets time to explore anything. The pacing is pretty terrible because we linger on a load of random shit which we don't need to linger on, and we speed through other parts which would probably help make the characters a little bit more developed. And it is just a lot of talk. It's a lot of talk. We don't really get to see these characters grow over the course of the movie. We see her basically say that she doesn't want to go to college, and then her going to college. That's as much development as we get for the main character. We start at A and end at A2. Like, that's it. That is it. We don't get to B. It's like A2. A part 2. And they steal. Fair enough. They're poor. Fair enough. You know, happens to the best of us. But, like, they don't do anything about it. Like, what they're trying to do is rob a guy to give him it back. And they've been known to steal before, like, as we've seen. So they're not, like, afraid of stealing. But then when it comes to them stealing for her, they don't like that shit. Like, they don't want to steal for the bad men. And then they do steal for the bad men because they desperately need money, and they find out how easy it is until someone gets shot. And then they don't want to go to the police. But they do want to go to the police. And then it's just like a conflict of egos. It is not the best movie. It is not the best movie. I really did not enjoy this one. It felt very slow, and not a lot happened. It felt very numb, because there was no emotion behind it, there was no feeling behind it. It just kind of happened, and I watched. I just watched and let it happen. I let it unfold, and yeah, I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. I'm gonna be honest, like, none of them made a lasting impression on me. I didn't get to care for their love connection that they had, because they didn't spend enough time on it. It was set up in one scene, and directly after the next scene, it was shut straight down. But the scene before they got together, it sort of showed them in a room together and made her very uncomfortable. So it was sending very mixed messages of how the girl was actually feeling around this dude, because she was uncomfortable and hiding things from him. She didn't want to tell him the truth. To the next moment, her very much trusting him, and them having a good old time together, them starting to like each other. Then the next scene, he's talking to another girl, and she hates him and doesn't want to talk to him ever again. It is, like, very quick, snappy, sort of very TikTok-y, I'm gonna say, with like how short the attention span is and how quick it moves on to the next subject. It's like you're scrolling on TikTok and it's like another scenario, straight after another. It doesn't give any, like, part of the movie time to develop, to grow, to sort of linger so you can care about it or anything. It just sort of does and just happens. And I think that's where the movie has its downfall, just because shit just happens and that's it. It's like, shit happens, okay, go. Do the movie. Do the thing. And that's not what I like in a movie. That is not what I like in a movie. So, other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. If you do want me to talk about anything else, any other movies, TV shows, anime, please do leave it down in the comments below, and I'll get onto it as soon as possible. But other than that, toodles. Bye-bye.